the smartest film critic in the world, Cole Smithey.
Hi, this is Cole Smithey with ColeSmithy.com and your guide to what to see and what to avoid at the movies this week. Fans of Aardman's handcrafted style of animation will find much to enjoy in this wonderfully stylized stop-motion comedy horror thriller about a little boy named Norman who sees dead people.
And when I look in my window, so many different people to be.
Co-director and writer Chris Butler, storyboard artist for The Corpse Bride and Caroline, teams up with Sam Fell, the director of Flushed Away. The result is a detail-rich kids' monster movie that strikes a fine balance between comedy, suspense, and goofy horror. You know you're in good hands from the first minute. Norman Babcock, voiced by Cody Smith-McPhee, likes to watch gross-out B-horror movies on television while talking to the ghost of his dead grandmother, voiced by the inimitable Elaine Stritch.
Oh yeah,
I got you.
Ow! This is getting completely out of hand!
The movie opens with a televised grindhouse horror movie parody, complete with scratched-up film stock that delights Norman. The zippy production design and off-kilter humor is a riot. His parents worry about him. Everywhere Norman goes in his small New England town of Blythe Hollow, he sees and talks to the ghosts of deceased citizens. They call him Abnorman. Funny stuff. A rehearsal for a Halloween school play that Norman is in gives rise to a scene-stealing instructional line reading from Norman's teacher. Good thing Norman has his chubby pal Neil, voiced by Tucker Abrizzi, to come along for the ride. Paranorman has its share of jaunty chase sequences to keep kids on the edge of their seats. An over-the-top climax explodes into a surreal universe of cosmic horror that borders on science fiction. Visually, the movie is a treat. The story might be a little lightweight and muddled, but you shouldn't hold that against it. I give this good animated kids movie a B.
Show me my car.
David Cronenberg's adaptation of Tom DeLillo's 2003 dystopian novel has a lot of ideas. Too many ideas for the film to sink its teeth into.
What makes you think we're in the car instead of the office?
What do you do exactly? I think you acquire information and turn it
Set mainly inside the sound and bulletproof limousine office of billionaire money mover Eric Packer, played by Pattinson, the story crawls through Manhattan traffic, which has slowed to a snail's pace due to a presidential motorcade. 28-year-old Packer wants an old-fashioned haircut. Packer's security man, Torval, played by Kevin Durand, runs alongside the vehicle dressed in an obligatory black suit. Packer is a talker. He feeds off conversations he has with a parade of women who enter his strangely public yet private auto sanctuary. His wife of recent weeks, Elise, played by Sarah Gadon, is not among them. He likes to converse with Elise in diners where he questions her about when they will have sex again. Soon, she promises. Not that it matters much to Packer, since he frequently states his libido elsewhere, for example, Juliette Binoche's Dee Dee Dancer. Elise complains that her husband smells of sexual discharge when the couple dine together. He tells her it's due to his daily medical examination, which indeed he has recently undergone. This day's checkup reveals that he has an asymmetrical prostate.
Shadow of what we do.
This is a protest against the future.
Packer represents the 1%. He is under attack and he knows it. He is waiting to be killed. To him, the logical extension of business is murder. He jokes with his chief technology analyst, Shiner, played by Jay Baruchel, to put a stick of gum in his mouth and not chew it. Packer jokes that rats could be the next unit of currency. The movie wallows in this kind of dry wit until you feel the sand slipping off the paper. This is one of Cronenberg's least plot-driven movies, and it's not a good thing. If these brief lessons in self-denial and social responsibility are supposed to inform or instruct the audience in any way, they do not. When Packer finally does walk into an actual barbershop for his unnecessary haircut, the barber is an ex-cab driver, no more able to cut a head of hair than cut a diamond. The sequence is just one of many narrative dead ends that contribute to an overall sense of futility.
You're a dangerous person.
The whole waking life is a self-contradiction.
We want what we want.
If intellectual sarcasm is your thing, hello college kids. You might like Cosmopolis. For most audiences, the movie is too pretentious for its own good. I give this disappointing dystopian drama a C-.
Are you prepared?
The Awakening is an old-fashioned ghost story with a couple of neat twists.
You are a ghost hunter as well as an author.
Well, you can't hunt what doesn't exist.
We think we have one that does.
Rebecca Hall's bewitching portrayal of Florence Cathcart, an early 20th century ghost-busting novelist working in post-World War I England, gives debut director co-writer Nick Murphy plenty to work with. In keeping with such suspense-teetering thrillers as The Devil's Backbone and The Others, chills and spills come as much from a ghostly atmosphere of uncluttered spaces as from sudden shocks of paranormal activity. Florence garners fans with her novels and enemies by assisting police in busting up phony money-making seance rings around London. At a time when nearly all of England's population has lost relatives in the war, people are desperate for any kind of contact with the dead, however hokey that connection might be. A visit from Private Boys Academy headmaster Robert Mallory, played by Dominic West, invites Elizabeth to investigate the rural Rockford school for evidence of a young male ghost who has been busy terrorizing its students and faculty. Mallory carries battle scars from the war, which cause him to stammer and limp. Nonetheless, he has a romantic connection with Elizabeth, whose professional approach to her work doesn't hinder her emotional availability. Imelda Staunton spices up the gothic drama as the school's personable doyenne, Maud. A fan of Elizabeth's books, Maud is a supportive foil for Elizabeth against the school's creeping horror, which also comes in the very physical form of a threatening groundskeeper played by Joseph Mawley. The narrative isn't without a few cobwebs. Still, the ensemble performances go a long way toward masking the script's less persuasive aspects. The Awakening is all about mood and tone. Peepholes, poison, and long, dim hallways with ghosts at the end of them never get old. I give this fair supernatural thriller a B-. My sleeper pick is Compliance, and my guilty pleasure pick is Robot and Frank. My must-have DVDs are Bernie from Millennium Entertainment, The Dictator Banned and Unrated from Paramount, and Paradise Lost from Docurama.
Stop it. You hear me, Scarlett? Stop it. No more of that talk.
Still one of the most admired Hollywood films ever made, Gone with the Wind is a stunningly beautiful adaptation of Margaret Mitchell's epic Civil War novel.
I'll kill you if you try to stop me! I will!
Taking inflation into account, Gone with the Wind holds the record as the biggest money-making film in American cinema history. On its surface, the movie is a celebration of the audacity of the Southern spirit as embodied in Vivien Leigh's pitch-perfect portrayal of anti-heroine Scarlett O'Hara. But a closer reading finds a cutting commentary on the South's hypocritical, opportunistic, and racist attitudes that continue to infect American culture. Scarlett O'Hara is a tactless shrew born into wealth. She lives in her family's enormous mansion-appointed cotton plantation, Tara, in Georgia. The year is 1861. America is on the brink of civil war. Scarlett's slight frame and button-nosed beauty belie a wellspring of simmering jealousy. Green is her favorite color. Scarlett's romantic obsession with Leslie Howard's Ashley Wilkes knows no boundaries. Not even Ashley's marriage to his own cousin Melanie, played by Olivia de Havilland, dissuades Scarlett from conniving to win him as her own possession. Scarlett only wants what she cannot have. Scarlett and her circle of high society Confederate peers put up a facade of Southern politeness that hardly disguises their condescending arrogance and delusional ignorance. Branding someone outside of their social sphere as white trash gives them a brief sense of superiority, even if the derogatory term is more self-reflexive than they care to recognize. Clark Gable's Rhett Butler is a rebellious cad of boundless masculine charm. His dark reputation precedes him. Thrown out of West Point and disowned by his Southern family in Charleston, South Carolina, the irrepressible Mr. Butler is a world traveler with no illusions about people or political realities. A constant smile and quick wit make him a well-defended outlier, able to effortlessly maneuver any realm of society he finds himself in. Rhett Butler is a man's man. An opportune nap enables the lusty Rhett to overhear a divulging romantic discussion between Scarlett and Ashley, wherein all cards are laid on the table. Mr. Butler sees Scarlett for exactly what she is, and yet he is nevertheless attracted to her on a sensual level. He represents the oil and water anecdote to her devious nature. As much as the film is about the North's devastating defeat of the Confederacy, it is about the doomed relationship between a woman incapable of love and a man who foolishly makes the mistake of thinking he can handle her.
Red, you go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Keeping hope for hope's sake doesn't mean that Scarlett's glass is half full. Rather, it will forever remain empty. Thanks for watching, and visit ColeSmithy.com for more.